he wants to do as a blind person. And I first got to know Leon and Suzanne when they attended a leadership seminar last spring at our national headquarters, and Leon was very impressive in that gathering, and he said, you got to come to Maine sometime, and I have this very impressive grill that you should check out. So I don't know if I'll get to do it on this trip, so I may need to come back to do that. But Leon's clearly has leadership skills, not only demonstrated in this organization, but with a men's group that he's part of, where commitment and leadership and goal setting and realizing your goals are part of what they do. So he's going to talk a little bit about all of that and about the long white cane. So here's Leon.
Good morning. Thanks for the podium. I'm going to stand in front because I don't like podiums. So good morning. I want to give a little background of how I became involved in the NFB. Last year, I was going to the convention out in Vegas and was unable to make it with the other organization, MDI. And so I decided to do the white cane walk for the very first time in my life. So when I arrived there, I went through the tent and came across the NFB table and asked my wife, what is this? So she said it's National Federation of the Blind. So I got the disc that was handed out there, and it was very interesting. Started listening to some of the philosophies that Jacoba Timbrook was bringing, and I was hooked. So I came to the convention, was invited there, and Lord and behold, I knew quite a few different people there, and was elected that day, first day of being at the convention, as the treasurer of the state of Maine. Which was very shocking in my tenure here. As I was listening earlier today to Abby's story, I don't know Braille. I didn't have the opportunity as a young child to learn it. I am in the process of starting that process to move forward in my life because it's a very valuable tool. But the thing that started tearing me up before was the escalator. To this day, I'm still afraid of doing the escalator. My skills are not as well as doing that because I just can't tell the judge that. So I'm looking to go and develop more skills down in Louisiana as soon as I can get on top of moving forward with that. But as part of my process of going through this, I've encountered a lot of different varieties of people of having no idea what a white cane is. And going to different airports, coming up against to security and they're grabbing, it's like, if you can't take that in, that's a weapon. To this day, actually, I traveled from Vegas just 2 weeks ago and encountered the same thing. They grabbed my cane from me and said, you can't take that through because that is considered a weapon. And it wasn't a very pleasant sight. So it still really hit home of the education of what it actually is. Now, is there anybody here who can tell me what the white cane really is? Who are you?
I'm Penny, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Sign of independence. Anything else?
Sachin, it's a tool.
Great. Awesome. That is something I was unaware of.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Could you please repeat it?
It was developed after World War II, Professor.
Oh, okay.
It's a key to independence.
Who are you?
Deja.
Thank you.
It's not a weapon.
My son can debate that with you. Awesome. So many of you are right. It is a symbol of independence. Back in July 6, 1963, in convention with NFB, they called upon the governors of all 50 states and declared that October 15th be White Cane Safety Day. And There's our president, Mark Maurer, wrote up a paper on that, and I read it quite a bit, so I'm going to put it in my words rather than quote what he did, because I just can't do that. So they brought it to the convention with the Senate, the senators and the House of Representatives, and decided to write it up into a bill, H.R. 753. And with that bill, it got passed and put into law, which President Johnson at that time, August 6, 1964. Now at that time, shortly after that got signed into law, he really recognized what the white cane stood for, which was independence, a real symbol for the blind in the world, but also the thing that really I'm proud of to say, it's a staff, white staff of freedom. And for me, just to come across of the world and having a white cane, because just this year, for me, I was very ashamed to being a blind person in the world. I fought to be on equal rights with everybody else. So I, kept on hiding it from the cane or doing everything I can and fumbling it all up the best way I can and putting all kinds of excuses. But what the NFB has really showed me is that I'm proud. I'm proud to be a blind person in the world. And this cane really shows out. So when I travel and people say, can you just put that away? No, I can't. It's to let other people know that I'm blind and I'm proud of it. So I'd like to encourage every one of you, when that comes up, or if people ask you what that is, it's a white cane of freedom. It's an independence. And say it with pride, because that's what it truly is. If we couldn't, and as we increase in numbers, as our young youth come around the run, come up and be adults, they get to understand that as well, and they'll have the pride in it and not be ashamed, such as Abby really says, took it on and really proud to be. That is pretty much what I want to deliver today, because I wasn't so proud of it at a different time, and I struggled with it a lot of my life. But it's really important to me to really educate people every time I come across them when they ask, what is that? It is my freedom. It allows me to go anywhere I want to do. Okay, got to figure out this mic. So, as some of you saw down in the back, there is a T-shirt that this is a fundraiser. This shirt was developed, it is actually developed for $25. A lot of people said it was kind of a stretch for $30. It really isn't. It's kind of a reasonable price to have that shirt. On the back of the shirt, it's a black shirt. It says on the top of it, it's October 15th, White Cane Safety Day. Underneath that, it has the sign of the NFB, the Who's It. And directly underneath that, it says, changing what it means to be blind in the world. In the front of the shirt, up on the left-hand shoulder, is the emblem and the sign of the NFB. Directly into that, right in the center, it says, vision is not a requirement for success. And there's 4 pictures. There's one picture of children on a hayride with their canes. Another picture of father and son grocery shopping with their canes. Mr. Mark Riccobono with the Blind Driver Challenge, and me in my fencing gear. So I brought that to Vegas. A lot of people looked at what it is, and it got some attention and put it out the awareness of the blind. And that vision is not a requirement for success, because I'm a success person in the world, like everyone else.